Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Wednesday evening, March 20, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future though in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can still see that the entire Atlantic basin is being dominated by that ridge of high pressure situated across the northern portions of the North Atlantic, sending all of those easterly trade winds, not to mention some amount of dust with those winds from Africa into portions of the main development region, some of which are making its way into the Caribbean as we speak. I don't know if some of you noticed the slightly hazy skies. And we can also see this blue spiked line right here, stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the Greater Antilles, affecting portions of northern Hispaniola, northern Haiti, and Dominican Republic. That's actually a cold front, but it's not packing much in the way of cool temperatures at all. What it is packing, however, is a lot of cloud cover, showers, and thunderstorm activity. And it's the influence of this cold front that has been causing the rainfall recently across portions of the Greater Antilles, sections of Haiti, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cuba, and even sections of Jamaica got into some of the action today. Elsewhere, the Eastern Caribbean seems to be in the clear, northeastern South America as well. As usual, the convective activity across Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's post on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok page. So a post wasn't made here on our YouTube page, but a post was definitely made on our other social media platforms. So please ensure that you follow us there if you're not already following us. It's at on Twitter at Weather Jamaica, on Instagram at weather.jamaica, on TikTok at Weather Jamaica, and on Facebook at Weather Jamaica 876. And we posted highlighting the fact that sections of central, mainly central and western Jamaica, would have received some afternoon rainfall on a Wednesday, and it's definitely what took place. Even although we got some of the action in an eastern section of the island in St. Andrew and Kingston, definitely got some of that rainfall. That's why the forecast was for mainly central and western Jamaica. And for your information, central Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Western Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? At 3:01 p.m., we actually highlighted the forecast that was made, considering that it was made to highlight the fact that we would see the action definitely around 3 p.m. on a Wednesday. So at 3:01 p.m., the visible satellite images were posted, showing those clouds bringing overcast skies and some isolated showers, even some thunderstorm activity within them, across sections of some central and western parishes, more so southern Jamaica, but we definitely had some of that rainfall and cloud cover across sections of some inland areas of some northern parishes as well. So southern St. Anne, southern Trelawney, sections of Hanover got in on some of the action, even sections of southern St. James as well, not to mention sections of southwestern Portland and southern St. Mary. And we even have our commenters confirming the rainfall. Bougie Foodie stating Kingston 6 and 7 almost wash away. Ricardo James stating steady to moderate rainfall downtown Kingston. And even on our Facebook page, we have some commenters confirming the weather. Rose Butler stating light dew in Mandeville. Humble General stating raining in St. Elizabeth. Terrian stating anyone experienced thunderstorm in their area, and Humble General responding yes, isolated thunderstorms in St. Elizabeth. And we can see the thunderstorm activity even better on the infrared satellite images. They were actually posted as well with this tweet stating, do you see those sparkling white dots? Those are lightning flashes or strikes. The latest infrared close-up satellite images show clouds bringing overcast skies and afternoon thunder showers to sections of central and western Jamaica. And this was posted at 4:15 p.m. and we saw the high cold cloud tops, not to mention the sparkling white dust that indicate some lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. We definitely had some thunderstorm activity, especially across sections of St. Elizabeth, sections of Manchester, Clarendon got in on some of the action as well. And we saw those high cold cloud tops being blown off towards the southeast, and as usual, whichever direction the upper level winds are blowing towards, we usually see most of the action in most of the cases across that side of the island. So southern parishes were indeed getting the brunt of today's weather. And we even have some of our commenters on our Instagram page confirming the weather today. 876 Joe stating raining in Kingston. For Square Farm stating it's raining in St. Andrew. No. Sharose 11 stating thank God for the rain. Sharice Sewell stating just started raining in Twickenham Park. And she also stated that it was well needed. We have Unbothered Zana stating off Waltham Park Road rain. Simret underscore Selassie stating well needed rain today, Kingston 6. Williams Kadeen stating rain in Old Harbour. No. Pantong Giovanni stating Spanish Town rain. Apple 775508 stating Black River Washwe. And finally we have a little bit of Indian stating give thanks for the rain, So we saw that yes, we had that rainfall across central and western Jamaica indeed, but more so southern parishes. We even have Suzette Christie on our YouTube page in the last video's comment confirming the rainfall 2 hours ago. The day weather Jamaica we're having rain now in Spanish Town. Thanks for the update. You have a blessed day. And I hope you had a blessed day too, Suzette. So taking a look at the latest visible satellite images before the sun went down, we saw those high cloud tops pushing off towards the south after we had those clouds building throughout the day, then some of which turned into some cumulonimbus clouds. We even have some amount of clouds across sections of Hanover as we speak. If we take a look at the latest infrared satellite images, we can see that most of the shower and cloud activity is actually starting to die down. As usual, the daytime heating contributes to the rainfall, and with spring now in full swing, there's definitely a lot more of that coming. We're actually transitioning now into the spring-like weather pattern, so it's gonna be getting wetter from now on as we head into April, May, especially June. Those are the secondary rainy season months, so we're definitely in for a lot of rainfall to come, especially with these very warm waters. If you don't know by now, the warmer the waters, the more rainfall that's expected. And if we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, we can see the latest image as of 10 minutes past 7 in Cuba there on Eastern Standard Time. Time is actually now 6:34 p.m. So I guess it's the 6:10 image. See, it's even loading now. So 6:20 image, and we still have some greens that represent rainfall across sections of St. Elizabeth as we speak. Whatever else we see there, especially on the north coast, is actually ground clutter. That's a glitch. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 3 a.m. on Thursday, temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and it could even be cooler than that, especially considering the little rainfall that we had to cool down the temperatures. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Thursday. When we calculate that, that's actually 1 p.m. on Thursday. And we do see Jamaica embedded in some yellows and some slight oranges that represent 1 to 2 to even maybe 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. I know the normal temperatures for the month of March are about the same as 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit is almost the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 33 degrees Celsius for Jamaica's temperatures on Thursday. As relates to the dry air map, we still have some amount of dry air, not as robust across the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. Definitely a bit more moist, which explains the afternoon convection. As you can see, more yellows and more blues across the Caribbean. We're indeed grateful for that. What we don't want to see is all of those oranges and reds that we see across the northern portion of North Atlantic, not to mention right there off the coast of Africa, where we especially have that plume of Saharan dust. We see the darker shades of browns right there, close to Dakar. We do see some slight browns that represent the Saharan dust across the southern main development region, northern South America, sections of the western and southwestern Caribbean as well. A majority of that is dying down for the forecast 2 p.m. on Thursday. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing that we're gonna be receiving more so in the way of blues surrounding the island. So we see the key on the bottom right, all of that's representative of anywhere from 0.5 for meter to 1 or maybe even close to 1.5 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds, for the most part, coming in from the, let's say, east or the east northeast, especially on the north coast, coming more in from the east northeast. And look where we see more of the blues that represent little to no wind. As we can see by the key on the bottom right, the blues represent 0 to 5 knot winds. The greens represent anywhere from 10 to 15 knots. So more so when we have windy weather across the north coast, maybe all of that air is going to be piling up across sections of southern parishes in Jamaica again. So we could have a repeat of what we saw today. Sections of some central and western parishes with more of that focus on the south coast. But the upper level wind forecast is showing that the wind shear is going to be coming in from the west. Not like what we saw today with the wind shear coming in from the northwest. So maybe more of that cloud cover and that rainfall could definitely be, especially across inland areas. Either way, can't rule out some showers across sections of some southern parishes, especially considering that the low level flow pushes all of that activity to the southern portion of the island. If we take a look at the rainfall forecast for tomorrow now, this is the meat of the matter. This is why we're here. These maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing the blues that represent rainfall across sections of eastern and northern Jamaica. So maybe sections of St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne might get in on some of the action. Skipping ahead, looking at Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually 8 a.m. by the way. The other maps that I just showed about 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we know it's actually 5 a.m. And skipping ahead a couple of hours later, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is actually 8 a.m. Jamaica time, and we still see more of those blues across northern and eastern Jamaica that represent rainfall. Then by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time, we start to see more of those blues spreading across sections of some central and western parishes in Jamaica. And we can see that majority of the blues, especially on the GFS map, is situated across sections of some southern parishes again. So we definitely might get a repeat of what happened today across sections of central and western parishes, with more of the focus across southern Jamaica. So Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew. And I see the weather pattern change from what we've been getting for the past week with those very warm temperatures and dry weather. It is indeed much welcomed. If we take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast from both the Euro and the GFS, we're indeed seeing that section of the island are definitely going to be receiving some amount of rainfall within the next 24 hours. Euro is a bit more robust than the GFS. Euro showing up to 0.73 of an inch of rainfall, especially across that area, across Kingston and St. Andrew. GFS not so robust or impressed with that area, but more so across western Jamaica, where it's showing up to 0.35 of an inch of rainfall. We're indeed grateful for the rainfall that we're actually experiencing now and the rainfall that we're gonna be experiencing. We're still in the month of March. Tomorrow is March 21. It would have been traditionally the first day of spring, but we know it's a leap year, an extra day in February, so it kind of threw off everything. So spring started earlier this year, March 19. And we know with spring we have spring like weather, spring showers. We know winter in Jamaica is usually dry. So we're indeed grateful that we're stepping into a more wetter period. We usually receive up to 87.15 millimeters of rainfall during this month. And we're indeed maybe possibly getting there. Possibly. If the latter days of this month indeed become wetter. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So, as stated, the cold front and its clouds are definitely contributing to some amount of weather across sections of Puerto Rico, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, sections of Cuba, even sections of the Cayman Islands were getting in on some of the action earlier today. The usual sections of Costa Rica, Panama, and Colombia getting in on the usual convection. As relates to the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, however, we didn't see much taking place at all. The latest Doppler radar images showing some amount of rainfall to the north of Puerto Rico associated with that front, and some rainfall right there to the east of Antigua and Barbuda as well. As relates to the Barbados radar, clear at this time, just like the satellite images. Not seeing much at all, just some high level streaks of clouds, and we know those don't have anything in the way of rainfall within them. And we don't see much coming off of the main development region waters at all. As relates to the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall that we mentioned across sections of Puerto Rico with their afternoon rainfall today, sections of the Dominican Republic as well, not to mention sections of Colombia and western Venezuela. As relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that this map from the GFS that's showing 18Z, which is actually 1 p.m., is showing above normal temperatures reaching all the way from the eastern to the western Caribbean, even the Gulf of Mexico, Central America, Northern South America with those oranges and reds. We see more so in the way of grays and blues that represent average to below average temperatures for sections of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, as well as the southeastern United States. And this is valid for 18th and Thursday. We know that's 1 p.m. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Thursday, we do see more so in the way of clear conditions in forecast for the Eastern Caribbean. This is 2 p.m. on Thursday. We do see some slight browns that represent the Saharan dust starting to dissipate across the southwestern Caribbean, Central America, Northern South America still being plagued by some of it. But we do see that the vigorous plume is right there across the Eastern Main Development Region waters, especially right there across Africa. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see by the key on the bottom right that majority of the Caribbean should be getting in on those blues that represent anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds are not going to be that strong at all. Coming in from the east for the most part, averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 or even up to 15 knots. As usual, the yellows that represent 25 knot winds right there off the coast of Colombia, curving with the land. As relates to the rainfall forecast now, it makes sense that the cold front is contributing to that rainfall that's expected across sections of Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. If they're not already getting that rainfall right now, more is still to come between now and 3Z on Friday, which is actually 10 p.m. on Thursday. So these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Thursday. We do see some slight rainfall for sections of Guadeloupe, sections of maybe Antigua and Barbuda associated with that shower activity that we just saw as well on the Doppler radar images. We do see, and we're looking for consensus with what both maps are showing, that we have some amount of rainfall in store for sections of the southern portion of Venezuela, western Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica as usual, coastal areas of Nicaragua. We can also see some rainfall in store for sections of southeastern Cuba, sections of the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Haiti, Dominican Republic as well. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.